Okay, so it took me a whole day to decide whether I wanted to do this or not, but I saw a couple comments of you guys who wanted to see this, so I thought I might release it early. This will be like a little taste of it, so you guys, to see if you guys like it or not. So, this is What If Female Deku Was a Ghost. So, let me just lay out a couple things. So, Izumi is an actual ghost, so she is not alive. She can possess people, and whenever that happens, the eyes usually change into her eye color, which is pink. And hold on. And she can make herself physical, so she can touch things and people can touch her if she wants. All right, so sorry about that. Let's begin. So we open up with a very old house in the middle of the Mustafa district in Japan. Now this house is fairly old. Like, I'd say it was around the same time as the Industrial Revolution in the time of the United States and the United Kingdom. So it's pretty old. As there have been stories circulating of a apparition of a young woman that is in the house. Hold on. As people have seen this, and multiple people have gone to investigate and come out to find with photos of this woman. But every time there was a photo taken of her, she always had her face covered, either by her hands or she was hiding behind something. So all they know of her is that she has long silk white hair and a dress sort of like in this image right here. As we will then get to Izumi, as she is floating around her house, going through the walls, and checking to see if everything is in place. And she's been doing this for, I'd say, hundreds of years, so she's been doing this for a very long time. As she would be looking around, as she would move to one room and basically check down the list as everything would be there. She'd move to the next room and do the same thing, and rinse and repeat. As once Izumi was done, she would have put the checklist down with hundreds of other checklists of the house, as she would say to herself, "Finally, now I can take a break. It's getting so boring in here. I know people have been coming here, but I don't want them to." As she would hear the door to her house opening, as she'd think to herself, "Oh no, not again. Stop. I don't want any more people in here." As she would then float over to the railing, as she'd see that 3 people have entered the house. As they're just like 3 random teenagers who decided to go into the house. I'll say these are 3 of Bakugo's lackeys. As one of them would say to the other, "Hey, you know this place is haunted by a ghost, right?" As the other would say, "Yeah, I heard the ghost of the girl as well." Apparently she's been in this place for hundreds of years. and and people actually do have photos of them. I say they're fake. As the other guy would say, yeah, you're right. Ghosts don't exist. There's no way they're real. As Izumi would have overheard this, as she would think to herself, so they don't think ghosts are real, huh? Then let me show them that ghosts can be real. As she would move down the stairs without anybody noticing her, as she would then grab the shoulder, basically put both her hands on one of the bully's shoulders. Hold on. Sorry about that. As she would then whisper into the bully's ear, as she would have quickly disappeared, as the bully that she whispered into his ear would turn around and immediately say, "Did you guys hear something?" As the other two would say, "No, I didn't. No, we didn't hear anything." As Izumi, as the bully would say, "That's quite odd because I'm pretty sure there's somebody here." As Izumi would then possess one of the bullies, as she would walk over to the bully that she whispered into, and then slapped him, and then got out of that person's body. As he would say, "Ow, why'd you slap me?" As the other one would say, "What? I didn't. I don't know what happened, man." As the third bully would say, "So, if he didn't do anything, and you heard something, that would mean the ghost is here right now." As the first guy would say, "Really? You're really believing that the ghost is here right now? You're such a child." As they would then hear giggling and chuckling, as they would hear a woman's voice say, "Oh, dearies, ghosts are real. It's just that you're too childish to believe so." As she would have made an illusion to make it look like the entire house was melting, as the bullies would begin to panic and scream and then run out of the house, as the doors would then slam shut, as Izumi would have appeared in the middle of the room and snapped her fingers, as the entire house went back to normal. And she would have let out a sigh and said, "Oh, thank goodness, I don't think I could have kept that act up anymore." And if you're wondering why I'm giving her this personality, it's because I really should have explained this in the last part, in the beginning. She does have like a quite shy personality. She doesn't like being around people or people being in her house. So she just doesn't like it when people are in her house or near her altogether. She just doesn't like being near humans. As she would then head back to the room that was her study, as she would begin to read some of her books, and eventually she'd get to an old photo album. As once she opened it, it would have a picture of her father, her mother, and Izumi herself as a young child. As Izumi would place her hand, two of her fingers down on the picture, as she'd begin to remember all the good times she had as a child in this house. Now, the house that she's in had been basically moved to Japan. It was originally in London, but it was moved to Japan. As Izumi would begin to think to herself, "I miss London. It was such a nice city when I was growing up. Wonder if I'll get to see it again someday. Wonder what it's like now. As she would then put the photo album back, as she would then say, "Who am I kidding? I'm never going to see London again." As she'd then begin to walk around her house some more, and more, and more. As she does have, like, little ghosts floating around her. These are, like, these are basically, like, lost souls. They're people who don't have bodies. So they do follow her around, and they sort of, like, treat her like a mother figure, since she's the only one who has an actual physical body. As one of the orbs would fly up to her, as she would put her hand on top of it, and sort of, like, stroke it a little bit, like you're rubbing a child's head to, like, comfort them. As she would say, at least you guys are keeping me company. Guys, I'm pretty sure without you guys I would have gone insane. As a couple months would go by, as she would hear some movement, she would see a lot of people passing by her house. As a lot of people would have gone to the house to try and test their courage and immediately run out about 15 seconds later. As Izumi is basically upping the ante on her illusions. As Izumi is lying down in the room that used to be her bedroom, as she's basically, like, lying sprawled out on the bed, like, her arms and legs are on the bed, as she's thinking to herself, this is nice. It's nice when people don't come to this place. This needs to happen more often. As Izumi would then begin to move around the house, as she would then go to the dining room, as she would find multiple lost souls around the room, as they all appear to be panicking. As she would walk up to them, as she'd be wondering why are they panicking, as she would then touch one of them and see that something scary is coming. No, there's actually more people coming, and there are a lot more of them than there were the last time. Because the last time there was only about, like, 4 or 5. There's about 10 coming. As Izumi would have put the entire house into panic mode, as she would have gone up to the window and see that her house, well, the place she lived, was being put up for auction. As it was beginning to be auctioned off to very rich people. As the bidding goes higher and higher, and eventually it was sold to. Actually, it was sold to I'll say it was some oil tycoon who wanted to just demolish the house. As Izumi and the lost souls would begin to panic, as Izumi decided to put the fear factor to 100%. As if you guys have seen the movie Monster House, I don't think a lot of you have, since a lot of you are still relative. I know some of my viewers are still relatively young, but it was then like an animated scary movie about a possessed house. So basically, she pulls that off, and it scares everybody there as they all run off. Now, a few of you might be wondering, wait, if they all have quirks, why are they all running off? Well, it's because all these rich people had quite weak quirks, and if you're wondering, no, the Yaoyorozu family was not there because they had other things to focus on than an auction. As Izumi would have used the illusion to get rid of the auction sign, as the house would have gone back to normal, as Izumi would have began to start panting from exhaustion, as she would then say, "I haven't got." Why do people do this? I just want this house to be in my hands forever. Just nobody ever touches it ever again. Hold on. About that, as a month before the UA entrance exams, a person we would recognize, I think we all know who it is. A bird-headed boy would approach the house, as he would then say, I sense a great darkness in this house." Talking about Izumi, who has not just darkness, it's just her shyness, which can be mistaken for like evil intent or something like that. As he would enter the house, as Izumi was in the middle of the room, completely visible, as Tokiyami would have seen her, as Izumi would have immediately saw him and began to cover her face like this in the photo, as the lost souls would have begun to do the same. And that is where I'm going to end this part off. I'm sorry if this is terrible, but if you guys like it, do leave a comment saying you would like to see more of this, and I will continue it. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.